What's going on, guys? Sekapoko here, bringing you another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. For this, we'll be going over the brand new V2 Lucci 6 Plus. We're going over the new limit breaks that are happening on the JP version and some memes that we found along the way. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Alright, guys, and the first bit of news, if you did not know, the treasure mode or the world-class rewards are going to be delayed until the 30th. So if you're waiting for the rewards, sorry guys, it's going to be till the 30th. You have to wait till then. It's both for the JP version and the global version. So just know that the rewards should have been out, but they got delayed. I don't really, it might say why. I didn't actually read into it, but just I know it's on the 3rd. Then in meme news, we got this photo. This is pretty funny. When you should be worrying about all of the things in life and all you can think about is the world class rewards coming. Nice. And then just before the new V2 Lucci came out, we actually got this really funny fan art where they superimposed Lucci face on top of Zephyr. It's lit. I don't know why this is funny, but this is great. I mean, it's not even that hard to do, nor is it like that creative, but it's really funny. I don't know why, it's just really funny. And then the next thing we're going to go over is the brand new limit break info that just dropped to the JP version. Young Whitebeard's getting extra sockets. Pretty much all the invasion characters are going up to 5 sockets. They're getting an extra 100 to 230 attacks, so they're all getting a lot of attack there. They're getting decent sailors. I think the ones that are really notable are Garp and Young Whitebeard. Young Whitebeard's going to get Can't Be Blown Away, which is really nice as a sailor ability. 100 attack to himself when the HP is low, which is not that great. But the 230 attack that he gets is really nice, so that is a decent limit break. He also gets crit hit and enrage, so that's going to be a very hard hitter. No cooldown reduction, so that kind of sucked. Shanks and Cavendish both got -1 cooldown. Garp did not get any cooldown. Garp, however, did get strength beneficial orb enable to fighters, which is really nice. And then if you did not know, the new fighter, which is on Opera, I think. Opera is going to be a Psi Orb beneficial enabler for fighters, and the original Strength Orb beneficial enabler for fighters was Coliseum Opera. So now that Garp is getting that, we may see Garp and Opera on the same team to get more beneficial enable for V2 Sanji teams. So that is kind of cool. I dig that. Otherwise, Shanks and Cavendish definitely not worth getting, but that Strength Orb beneficial enable for Garp is really nice. I really like that. As far as rare recruits go, none of the last rare recruits were very good. Most of these were just trash rare recruits. So I didn't really look at them in detail, but I do know that a lot of them got a lot of cooldown reduction, extra sockets, etc. And a lot of these units suck anyway, so you're never going to use them. We do know that Sugar is going to get an extra 200 HP as well as 100 attack and recovery, and get -1 silence to the entire crew, which is nice. I really like that. And then for Buggy's limit break, apparently we don't have V1 Dothy's limit break, we have Buggy's limit break. I thought we were getting Buggy, but I guess we don't. He's going to have sailor abilities. That's going to be 50 stats, all units 40 cost or less. But he's also going to have int beneficial for the entire crew, which is really, really nice. I like that as a beneficial orb enable. That's really, really nice. So int to every single character in the game is beneficial to use Buggy Sailor. And Buggy still does that, I think it's a 2x boost to everybody who's 40 or less. So that's actually kind of interesting to see. That might actually be a really good unit to use on your teams. Using like a team with an orb booster captain, and you can use Buggy as a sub. Maybe that would be a way to go to get a boost on everybody but your captain. So that would be interesting. He's getting anti-heal reduction, pinch healing, as well as barrier pen. Also interesting there. So he gets a lot of attack. 250 attack is pretty sizable for any unit. I mean, 250 is nice. Then we got Raid Rayleigh, who's actually getting a really, really good limit break. Raid Rayleigh is probably one of the best limit breaks for free-to-play units I've seen in a long time. This is a definite must limit break character. He's got 2 sockets, -3 cooldown, 50 stats for the entire crew, and whenever another special is used, you get -3 cooldown on Rayleigh. So that is insane. Raid Rayleigh has the best free-to-play limit break I've seen in a very long time, so definitely get that done. V2 Dofy Ray gets a similar limit break where he gets a special, whenever a special is used, reduced cooldown by 1 turn instead of 3 turns. Still really good, just not as good. And then if HP is below a certain amount, boosts his attack by 100, which is crappy, but whatever. 2 extra sockets on him. That's nice. An extra 150 attack on V2 Ray Dopey, which is nice. And then Coliseum Shuryu is also getting an extra 150 attack, which is nice. What he gets, which is really nice, is the -1 silence for the entire crew. It's a really good sailor ability that we've seen on a lot of different units, so definitely a very cool unit to see that on. And then we found version 1 Dofi is going to get -2 cooldown reduction, 250 attack, and 2 sailors. Apparently it's quick or beneficial enable for driven. And then you keep quick orb on perfect, and then V1 Rayleigh gets -2 cooldown, 200 attack. You sailors, these are harder for interpret on Google, but I think it's plus 50 stats, and all characters reduce special by 2 when another character uses a special. Buggy gets no CD reduction, but no, that doesn't matter. So I'm down with the V1 Dofi. I mean, it kind of sucks that he's not getting an extra socket. I'm kind of sad about that, but you know what, to be honest, 5 sockets is kind of unnecessary. 4 sockets is fine. I mean, getting the damage reduction is nice, but really the only sockets that you actually need in the game are Charge Special, Bind, Despair, and Auto Heal. The 5th socket really never helps that much. It helps like this much, and it only helps in like 1 to 5% of content. So, I mean, it's okay, just not necessary in most teams. Final set of limit breaks. We are drawing all the OG limit breaks to a close. That's kind of cool. I do like the V1 Dofi limit break. It's not amazing. -2 cooldown is nice. I like that. I mean, going down to 13 turns for a 2 times orb booster for universal orb booster, as well as mini orb manipulate. That's really nice. So I'm digging that. I'm hoping that V1 Rayleigh is what they say, and like if you use another ability, then you get the cooldown reduced. That would be nice. He doesn't really have any other limit breaks that I really like cooldown reduction limit breaks, but overall, I'm happy with these. These aren't bad at all. So the first thing we're going to be going over today is going to be the brand new version 2 6+ Lucci, and this character would be good if it was on JP, but not so much on global. So the main thing that shooters are missing nowadays is a captain, and Lucci, the new Lucci, is a shooter captain. So let's go over him a little bit. So the first thing is that he reduces cooldown at 1 turn by the start of the adventure, which is good. Boosts the attack by 3.25, reduces recovery on shooters to 0, and then increases shooters attack by 1.05 every single turn, in succession. So every time you hit a perfect, it goes up. So it goes from 3.25 to 4.148 over the entire turn. The last hit is very hard. The first hit is like pretty hard. So they did a pretty good job on balancing him, and they made him a really good character. He does a lot of damage. Overall, he's okay, and that's not bad. When you're considering the new Zephyr Legend and the new Beijing Captain, though, this character is kind of whatever as far as captain ability goes. He's definitely a good character to have in your arsenal if you don't have either of those. So for me personally, when this guy does drop the JP, this would be a really good character to have, just to have a shooter captain. That'd be nice. I would like that. I never use V2 Lucci for anything anymore, so I mean, this is fine. To me personally, this is a good unit. I don't really see any. I see no problems with this unit so far. The special ability got completely reworked. Instead, it's still going to reduce defense greatly by 1 turn, do super quick damage to 1 enemy, so that has not changed. I think it used to do wave clear before. I'm pretty sure. I have to double check that. Before it did 50 times attack to all enemies, and now it's just going to do it to 1 enemy. I don't know if that's a mistranslation or they just reworked the special down to 1 enemy. So, all right, that's okay, I guess. I guess that's fine. And change all orbs. Used to change all powerhouse orbs to matching. Now it's going to reduce paralysis by 4 turns. And then initially people thought it was going to be a shooter 2 times orb booster. It's actually not. So if you got that information, it was incorrect. It was translated early. It's actually going to be a 2 times affinity booster. So, I mean, I guess that helps a little bit because now you don't need to bring Coliseum Gladius on your teams. I guess? There's no more orb manipulated in this character, which is fine because every other legend that you would use is a shooter orb manipulator for shooters. So I guess, I mean, that's fine with me. I don't mind. An affinity booster, not super helpful. Okay, so the way affinity boosters work is they're only going to work on characters that have the type advantage. So really the last 2 characters of your chain, right? So those 2 hits are going to be at like 4.148 and then probably like 4.0 or whatever. Really close to that, something like that. That's okay. I mean, that's going to hit really hard. I don't really see any problems with that. Nice thing about Lucci is that you can use a chain booster or chain locker, whichever you prefer. Chain boosting is obviously going to be more effective because all your damage is back-ended, not front-ended. Chain lock will still be very effective, but the way his affinity boost works, you're going to be using him in strength content as a shooter. So, I mean, it's okay. To be honest, he seems really niche. Like, the thing with the affinity boosters is that since he's only a shooter affinity booster, it makes him really good against strength content and then no other content. So I'm kind of confused on this character. Since this character was a really old limit break, it's not going to have an amazing enrage or anything like that. It only has 150 attack on the enrage already. Completely reduces slot bind, so that's nice. And then it has a decent pinch heal, which is kind of cool. Since he has a pinch heal at 50% to do 2 times recovery, this is actually kind of helpful for his team, so that's interesting. Lucci loses the heal too, which is kind of weird. So with the pinch heal, you're healing for a little bit, but since your recovery gets reduced to 0, I don't know if you can pinch heal if your recovery is reduced to 0. I've actually never attempted healing on like a V1 Lucci team with pinch heal because I don't know too many powerhouse characters with pinch heal. So I'll have to test that out at some point to see if you can still get pinch healing on a powerhouse team with 0 recovery. So I don't know how that works. It might work. If it does, then that would be a bonus. But to be honest, the 0 recovery thing is really annoying. And just looking at the shooter legends that come out, I mean, Zephyr as well as BJ, those ones shit all over this Lucci. I wouldn't even use this Lucci as a sub personally. I would rather have Gladius for more situations. I mean, the only situation I really would want this Lucci is if I'm using this character on a speed farming team because he is a shooter. So I would use this character as a sub on like a double Enel team, and we're talking the Psy Treasure Mode Enel. Then I can use like Coliseum Kid, Coliseum times Kid Tid, as well as this Lucci, and that would get the Lucci special up sooner because the time skip Kid will lower shooter cooldowns. That would be a good way. And then there's other characters I could use with this character too, but I don't see a ton of reasons to use this Lucci outside of that Enel team and as a gateway shooter legend. So I would use this character if I don't have BJ. This is like the worst tier BJ captain, basically. This is like if you needed a friend captain, you don't have a shooter captain that's good, this is what you would use. 6+ Enel is already better in many ways than this character. If you wanted to build a shooter-based team, there's too many reasons why it's not. And the reason I don't really like this character being on the global version is because global's missing a lot of the great characters that shooters came out with. Shooters already have a lot of utility, but they're missing that TS Nami style character, that character that removes silence, paralysis, and either despair, delays a character, or whatever. And that is the Rare Recruit Chiffon, and that just dropped on the JP version like not too long ago. So you're looking at like 3-4 months before that even comes out on global. So this character's not even going to be in full effectiveness until that time. And we don't really have a super utility unit for shooters yet on the global version. There are a lot of utility units, but shooter meta is not there yet. So this unit is like, it came out too early. So it might be good in 3-4 months, but I would still use Gladius in the content that I would use it for. And the only times I would use this character would be somewhat pretty useful would be in the treasure mode where they released Zephyr Legend as well as had BJ Legend boosted. I think that was Tiembo. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I don't remember perfectly. I think that was Tiembo though. And if that is the case, and you guys do have Tiemboa, and you guys are running that with this Lucci captain, then you might not need to run a Zephyr captain as much because you'll have that extra damage because you'll have a quick unit. But overall, it's not a super difficult treasure mode. So, I mean, I guess it's pretty good, just not my cup of tea. And that's going to do it here for the news today. My name's Sekapoko. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll probably have another video later today or probably tomorrow. I'm not really sure. On the new Carrot Sugafest. I'm kind of waiting for more of the info to come out because I only have information from one source and I'm not sure if I trust that source, so I'll wait to make a video on that. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below about these units and everything there. So thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.